Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am here again. This is day 35, y'all, of my 365-day journey of going live. I just decided to pop in here real quick. Me and my sister are going to be going live with our Madly in Love with Me challenge shortly. She is on the California coast. So, of course, she's 3 hours behind me. So I've been kind of just chillaxing, waiting for her to join. But I wanted to tap in before I hit my midnight hour here in Georgia. So how are we doing tonight? How have y'all been doing this week? I haven't tapped in specifically to TikTok, so I wanted to just make say my hellos and say that I am still here. I'm tapping in, tuning in, and turning on. And yeah, I'm here for it. So I did want to do a quick little pull from our Secrets of the Ancestor deck while I give my sister some time to come on. She had a busy day as well today. So I am going to pull a couple of cards for us today. I am your soul sister, Chantel Sierta Shakim. I am a holistic self-care practitioner and soul guide that, dibbles and dabbles with the cards every now and then, just seeing what pops up. So we got these that popped out. We have the Loner, which says Isolation and Introspection. We have the Patriarch, which says Unapologetic. We have the Monarch, which says Victorious. And we have the Mother Fire, which says Rise and Shine. So those are 4 foundational cards. I'm going to just go with that for right now, as I am definitely radiating and resonating with this loner introspection energy. This has been a challenge of Madly in Love with Me that we've been on for 4 days. And I've been just kind of, taking time to love on me and see what that feels like. And today the challenge was to pick how are you feeling authentically. So today I said I was feeling optimistic and purposeful. And in that space, I really began to dive into the things that I need to do to continue to be purposeful on this journey. So greetings, 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 everyone who's popping into the call. I am going over these 4 cards, foundational truth for me today, which is talking about being in introspection and isolation. And that has been my day today, really. I've just been kind of sitting with myself and seeing what comes up, and have determined that I'm going to remain optimistic and move forward in purpose. And in that space, living unapologetically, knowing that I am victorious as I continue to rise and shine, y'all. You can't get any clearer than that. This is the energy that we're working with. I hope you guys can be encouraged by that word, that sometimes it does take us to go within. Sometimes it does take us to live unapologetically. Sometimes it does take us to find that victory in showing up in our true authenticity. And then allowing ourselves to rise and shine, because our light has come. We are officially the light in the darkness. So I am going to go to the book, Secrets of the Ancestors, and read these 4 foundational cards that I pulled, beginning at the bottom, as we always do, to the top. Okay, so we're rising and shining in the midst of it all. We are nurturing ourselves. We're going within so we don't do without. And in this, number 25 speaks out, and it says, my confidence is magnetic. My confidence is magnetic. So How are you showing up confidently? How are you allowing your light to shine? How are you coming forth every day, loving on yourself, being madly in love with you? Because that's the space where you get the victory, okay? We can't show up for anybody else but ourselves. And as we show up, the universe comes to support us. And that brings about the victory. I got the victory. I got the victory. If y'all know about that, this is number 7, right? Number 7, victorious, the monarch. And I see him with the black and white sphinx. And this is also about balancing our shadow and our light, knowing that in that space is where your victory is found. Not what's it called? Spiritual bypassing, but feeling the feels and allowing those feelings to move you forward. Always. Moving you forward always. As my mentor said, we need to continue to focus on how good can it get? How good can it get? Because in that space is the victory. And it says, I have royalty in my DNA. Hence, my crown, y'all. Y'all see it? She's shining bright like a diamond. But yeah, this royalty in our DNA, it's tapped down deep in there. And most of us have forgotten. We've forgotten that we come from the lineage of kings and queens, the creators of all things. What? Did y'all hear that? Kings and queens, the creators of all things. That is why we are victorious. That is where we have to show up every time, knowing that we are victorious. And in that space, living unapologetically, unapologetically, unapologetically me, unapologetically you. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. So unapologetic. I pulled 4 cards, and this is the number 4, right? That's where our foundation begins, in that energy of 4. Unapologetically me. You don't have to be like anyone else. Just be like you. And that's perfect. That's all in alignment with being madly in love with me, okay? So number 4 says, the patriarch. Number 4, it says, I owe no apology for walking in my power. I owe no apology for walking in my power. How often do we get sideswiped or what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word, but how often do we downplay ourselves in order for someone else to look good, or in order for someone else to feel okay with us showing up in our brightness? You know, how often do we get the side eye and the who does she think she is energy, you know, for showing up? You know, who cares? We have no, what does it say? I owe no apology for walking in my power. This is the time that we have to really, really, really hone in on that, because I tell you what, every day is a challenge. The world is going to show up and try to tell you other. But you have to maintain the frequency of being madly in love with you, no matter what, and living unapologetically. And if that means going into isolation and introspection as the loner, do that too, because you owe no explanation to anyone. It's all about you and how you choose to show up. So introspection, isolation, number 9, that's the year that we're in, feeling fully alive, fully aligned, and taking no L's. All we do is win, win, win. And this says, I trust my inner voice. I trust my inner voice. How often have you sat in that space of just listening to yourself, listening to the guidance that you receive from the inside? You know, how does it make you feel? How does it move you to the left or to the right? How does it allow you to stand up straight? and acknowledge all that's within your sight. You know, it's purpose. You know, everything that we do has a purpose, has a plan. We have to just remember to trust it and move forward no matter what. No matter what. Because there is always a plan, right? There's always a plan. Even if we don't know the way knows the way. So we're going to pull from our Soul's Journey deck real quick just to get a little bit more insight before we tap out. Knowing that, you know what? All I do is win no matter what. So I'm trying to stay down, y'all. I'm trying to stay down and stay committed to my 365-day journey of showing up and using my gifts, my talents, my abilities, my intuition, and playing with my younger self, my inner child, to see what she got to say. And the word comes out is balance. Balance, balance, balance. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. And in this space of balance, it says, I bring a state of I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do it without judgment. How often do we show up without judgment? You know, going back to the card that says unapologetically, you know, we're showing up unapologetically without judgment, bringing that harmony and balance in victory, knowing that we are royalty and that we can continue to rise and shine each and every day, knowing that, hey, this is my game and I get to play. I get to play. I get to chill. I get to go within and just max and relax, you know, unapologetically. So today is day 35 for me. I am truly being intentional with my day, with my time, with the things that I do. It was very, very busy today as far as the things that I was doing to prepare. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the hearts. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, I'm bringing it all into balance now, y'all. Just really learning how to balance the energies because it's getting real. It be getting real in these streets. And if you can't ground yourself, if you can't come back to center, you will find yourself lost and confused, honestly. But the more you can ground yourself, the more you can truly stand in your own power and knowing that, hey, I make things happen. I make shifts happen. I can create by my intention, by my energy and motion. This is how we work with it. This is how we do it. You know, that's how we do it. And I am truly amazed. I'm truly amazed. And I do want to give a quick plug to my book, Embracing the Queen Within. You can get it on Amazon, along with my other book. It fell on the floor. Hold on. My other book, Living Aligned and Crowned, also on Amazon. This is my proof, so it has this across the top. But my real books will be here tomorrow. So I'm super duper excited. I would love to share, you know, more about what's in my books and how this challenge of being madly in love with me, the challenge of going 365 days live outside of my comfort zone to just share my gifts, you know, no real way of showing up, but just showing up for me without having to put on this face of professionalism, without having to show up in the space of, you know, anything other than here am I. Send me, you know, and being okay with that. Because sometimes, you know, all the what are they? Personas that we have to wear get to be pretty heavy. And sometimes it's like, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me. But all of these are me. And sometimes parts of me get neglected. So I'm super excited when I can come out here and just show the world the real me on a different level. So thank y'all again for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for being you and showing the world the real you in the process. Yeah, I think we're going to be going live on our YouTube platform, Circle of Sister Table Talks, here in the next 10-15 minutes. If you want to join us over there, that will be where we'll be diving into our Madly in Love with You topic. We are on day 4 with that. And yeah, it's interesting to take time to love on yourself. So I encourage you to go over to that page, like and subscribe. The Circle of Sister Table Talks. And yeah, meet us over there shortly. And until next time, I have went live officially for my day 35 of my 365 days live on TikTok or even any social media platform. So until next time, I am your host, Chantel Sierta Shakim, speaking out, your soul sister, speaking out and fixing crowns in the process. Understand, just like it said, live unapologetically and know that royalty is in your DNA. Until next time, peace and love.